Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Helldivers 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. So today we're nuking the nursery, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So after saving the children on the liberated Automaton world, we've been tasked with a major order to liberate several Terminid planets. Now, in addition to this, there is a new mission, which is nuking the nursery chambers. And first off, you may have trouble finding it, so you may need to either switch planets or switch difficulty levels, because the three that you will find on any particular planet at any particular level may not have one of these missions on it. So finding the mission is step one. Step two, getting into the mission. Now, I don't know how much I enjoy having the main mission right there all the time, but not having the difficulty and the mission timer on there. There are a variety of changes which were outlined in a previous video for the last patch, which was rather large, but is not the giant patch that some people were expecting. So one of the changes that they made was that they did away with the timer and the difficulty level, so you don't see that all the time. Now, I would say that the Nuke the Nursery mission is a combination of the Dark Fluid mission and the Termicide mission. So you have to get to a certain area in order to call down a stratagem, this hive breaker stratagem. But unlike the Dark Fluid, where it comes in like a sentry or like the geological survey, instead of that, it comes in via a shuttle. So you'll have to clear out the bug holes and the bugs that are in the area before you're able to deal with the actual main objective of the mission. Yeah, you can see there's still bugs moving around there. Let's see if we can't take care of them. There we go. I called down the sentries, so that's going to cause problems if there's bugs right next to me. So we'll take these bugs out as quickly as possible. Try to take them out before they take out the sentry. Never mind. So there we go. Hive breaker drill coming in. So unlike the Dark Fluid where you had to toss it into a small area, it's automatically placed. But as you can see, the shuttle is bringing in the equipment instead of the super destroyer blasting it down in a hell pod. Probably just as well, seeing as it's some sort of nuclear weapon. Alright, so we started it up. Starting to drill down into the nursery chamber. Does take some time, and as you would expect, there are going to be plenty of bug breaches to deal with. And they're all relatively close, so keep that in mind when you're choosing the stratagems that you're going to bring in. And much like the Termicide mission, you can see the drill status as it's taking damage goes from stable to unstable to critical. But it does not get destroyed like the Dark Fluid mission. Alright, so I think we were able to actually get the whole thing there done. Oop, we got a Charger Behemoth. Now, one of the things you'll notice on the higher difficulty levels is that you don't have as many heavy armor enemies that you did previously before the patch. However, there's going to be a higher quality of heavy armor, plus you're going to have more enemies overall. So instead of getting, a Bile Titan every time there's a bug breach, so like when we had those 2 bug breaches, we would have had like 2 Bile Titans minimum. We didn't get any, but we had plenty of smaller enemies and even some medium enemies. So the idea, of course, is that they're trying to get us to not have to rely heavily on anti-tank measures and instead have some anti-tank measures, but equal amounts of crowd control. So either, mines or turrets or barrages or eagles, something that can take care of a large swath of enemies. So there is an adjustment in the stratagems that you take with you. And don't forget that some of the stratagems have been changed for the better. Yeah, still trying to just get to one of the things I think a lot of people have noticed is that there's like a constant wave of enemies that you may have to deal with. Before you can do anything. So if you're trying to do a main objective, you may have 5 or even 10 minutes of enemies to deal with, and then you can actually deal with the main objective. And then you might have another 5 or 10 minutes of enemies. So there's still some balancing issues that need to be ironed out, but it's a process. All right, so the drill's done. We drop the nuke into the chamber, and now it's time to run. There we go. So not quite a mini nuke. So now we just need to move on to the next one, do the same thing for that one, and then the third one. Depending on the difficulty level, you may have 3, you may have 2, or you may have 1. I don't know how low in the difficulty range that these missions will show up. But on the higher difficulty levels, you will absolutely see 3. Now don't forget that super uranium or super samples do show up on level 6 difficulty and above. 6 and 7 both have 3 samples, 8 has 5, and 9 has 6. So if you're doing a mission only for super samples, it makes no sense to do a 7 when you can do a 6. But of course, if you can do a 9, why wouldn't you do a 9 instead? That'll double the amount of super samples that you're getting. Just be aware that you're only able to hold a total of 100 super samples. So if you're getting 5 or 6 in each mission, then you're going to max out relatively quickly. After 25 missions, you're going to have 100 at level 8. Alright, we're at the next site. Several bug holes that are close by that we need to deal with right out of the gate. And I think that's it. So now we can just go ahead and call in the... Oh, no, there's one. Oh, nope, there's 2. I was going to say, there wasn't nearly as many as I thought. The first one had 4 right in the ring, right next to it. There we go. Call it in. Still have to wait for stratagems to pop back up. There we go. I like how it comes in the container, but the container just breaks as soon as it hits the ground. Alright, there we go. Bug breaches. Taking damage. At 50%. It does go relatively quickly, so as long as you can manage the enemies that are coming after you and or the drill. Now it's up to damaged. And it's done, I think. Woo, getting overrun. If you notice, those bug breaches are still going. So more enemies are still spewing out. It's causing a bit of a problem. There we go. Take care of these enemies as best we can. Using the Scorcher, if you were wondering. I don't really feel like it's the best weapon for Terminids. Oh, there's a Bile Titan. Yeah, we've had how many bug breaches, and that's the first Bile Titan that I've seen. So it's not unreasonable. Now the Quasar Cannon does... There we go, someone had a railgun strike. Quasar Cannon is affected by... Oh, there's another one. There's another Bile Titan. Oh, and a Charger. So you can feel like there's a decent number of heavies, but not feel just despair at the sheer number of them. And if you have something like a recoilless or a Quasar Cannon or something like that, where you can get more ammo from a backpack, or it'll recharge, or eat, where you can call it down every minute, then you don't feel too horrible about the number of heavies. There were 2 Bile Titans, there was 2 Chargers, 1 Behemoth Charger, and with 4 players, it should be not too bad. Oop. Tried to wing it real quick before I got attacked. And it's a little bit rough because I'm running low on ammo. That's the other problem with the Scorcher. You start running low. Scorcher also isn't good for enemies that get right on top of you because it has an explosive element to it. But I'm using the new shotgun sidearm, which has 3 shots, single load, reload. So every time you shoot, you can reload it with 1 shell. Or you can shoot 3 and then reload 3 shells. It can get a little bit hairy if you're trying to deal with it. So my idea was that I need to kite the enemies away from that one area to a different area, clear it out, and then finish it off. Sometimes that's what you have to do. He must have already had some damage on him. We've got an ion storm going, so there's no stratagems other than if you have an artillery stratagem. Yep, he started it up, so there's bug breaches all over the place. And I'm kind of in bad shape. I had called in a resupply, but it was right before the Bile Titan, or right as the Bile Titan showed up. I'm out of stems. I'm running out of ammo, quickly running out of ammo. There we go. Just like, give me my stems and ammo. If I had time, I would reload the Scorcher so I'd have full shells on it before I grab that second supply tab. Pack, whatever you want to call it. There we go, so reinforcing, we're down to 5 reinforcements for 3. That 4th guy left, apparently, or was disconnected. There's still a lot of enemies here. Lots of small enemies. Get out of the way. There we go. I found one of the best ways to take out enemies is also one of the most dangerous. You throw down a eagle, and then you run along the path, and then at the last second, cut 90 degrees perpendicular to get out of the damage zone. If you're a little bit too slow, it's not going to work out. You're going to get hit. If you're too fast, you're not going to be able to get very many enemies. So it's a tightrope walk. Trying to help this guy out. I think I hit the rock instead of the charger. He does have a weak point, so any weapon will damage that weak point if you try anywhere else. I mean, other than the tail. And apparently there is some sort of glitch with some of the chargers that sometimes the tail doesn't take damage. Something they'll have to look into for the next patch. Alright, so made it back to the hive breaker drill that I had previously. We're down to 3 reinforcements. That's 1 per person. There we go. All right, so that one's done. Just have to interface, and there we go, running. So call in the drill, defend the drill, and then blow it up, and then rinse and repeat. And that guy was a little bit too close. There we go. I can't tell if that's a patrol or if it was a breach. Part of a breach. Alright, so we need to go over and grab that last one. I don't know where... Oh, that third guy left. Dude, what the heck?
Calling down supply.
People get all irate about nothing. Alright, so let's see where it's at. 50%. So we got to 50%. I don't know if it automatically, if it gets stopped, it goes down to 50%, or if it's something else. Alright, we almost got it. 8, 9, there we go. Alright, so now we just have to nuke it and get out. Alright, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Backpack inbound. Calling down a sentry. Requesting advanced weaponry.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
How'd you like the taste of freedom? Sample collected. Bugs west. Mag's empty.
ETA T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Calling in reinforcements.
Reinforcement budget depleted. ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Get some! Get some! Throwing supply beacon. Sending in an eagle.
Delivering payload.
How'd you like to taste of freedom?
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
Reloading. That's called democracy. New man.
T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
Injury? What injury? Requesting air support.
Here comes the cavalry.
Arriving at democracy.
This is Pelican 1, requesting all Helldivers to enter the extraction radius.
Sending in an eagle.
Keep liberty.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Eagle 1 returning to destroyer for resupply.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Affirmative.
Today you've carved another foot in a long climb to liberty.
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
PlayStation